Hey everyone, I'm Amy Patee. Welcome to my YouTube channel. And today is a very special day. It's the Winter Solstice. And so here in the Northern Hemisphere, which is where I am, it marks the longest night of the year. So the shortest day, longest night. Lots of dark, in other words, that we can indulge ourselves in. And so I wanted to share with you a little bit about how you can use the magic of today, the power of today, to work with your intentions, your desires for yourself in your life. And people are often using this time of year to contemplate their life, to self-reflect, to think about, okay, what resolutions or intentions do I want to bring into the new year? And it's great to do those things, right at the new year, but the winter solstice is always a really, I feel like it's a really magical time, and it's kind of in sync with nature and the seasons. And so when you do a special ritual, or when you're consciously kind of working with a holiday like the winter solstice that's based in nature and the cycles of nature, you're drawing upon all of that energy. And so it can be really supportive. So we've got all this dark right now, right? Today's the longest night of the year. It's very dark. And when I think of the dark, at least in the context of this holiday and in the context of manifesting and desires, I think of the dark as kind of like the deep underground of who I am. It's like where all the dirt lives, and I say dirt in a really positive way. It's the dirt, the deep, dark soil inside of me, where my seeds of desire are planted. And some of these seeds that I've planted are very conscious, and some of them are unconscious. And some of them have been underground for a long time, kind of dormant, waiting for the perfect timing to sprout into life. And so I'm using today to really dive in, to let the darkness, the external darkness, kind of motivate me or symbolize my ability to dive into my own kind of underground world and assess what seeds have I planted, and do I want them all to come to fruition? Is there one that I specifically want to awaken or to kind of activate and to focus on? And so this is just a little kind of like a 3-step process that you can do with yourself today to utilize all of nature's energy that's available to you, and to use that power and bring it into your own life, and to infuse your own creative process for your life. What seeds of intention do you want to bring forth? So 3 questions that I would recommend that you ask yourself. This is kind of part of the process, and maybe you journal for a little bit, light a candle, burn some incense, cuddle up on the couch with a warm cup of tea, and take 10 minutes, an hour, 2 hours of time to journal and kind of guide yourself into your own underground world where it's very dark, but you can kind of feel around, look around, turn on your own inner light, look around and see what's there. And then so that's the first question I was gonna tell you is, like, what do you want, right? What do you want to bring into your life? So that's you kind of looking around at your seeds. Oh yeah, I forgot, but I really want that. I really want to grow that in my life. Oh, here's this other seed, but you know what? Don't want that so much right now. It's still something that I would love, but it's not primary. It's not super important. So look around, spend some time journaling. What are your seeds of desire? What do you want? And you might want to just pick one thing. Sometimes, depending on where you are in your life, there's like one thing that you're longing for, and it stands out, and it's got like the strongest hold on you. So sometimes it's nice to just pick one thing, at least when you're first initially going through these questions. So you find out, what do I want? And then the second question you ask yourself is why. and really like journal on these things, because it's interesting. And I'm just going to share a personal experience. The reason why I'm sharing these questions with you is because I did this with myself. So I had a desire, and it was very clear in my head about what I wanted. And then I started asking myself, well, why do I want that? And that took me kind of on an interesting journey. And you might be surprised. So just contemplate that question. What do you want? Step one. Number two, why do you want it? See what comes through and see if you are on board with that. Does that make sense to you? Does it align with your values? You're allowed to want whatever you want, but moving on to the third thing is that you have to be willing to commit fully. So if you want something like really bad, you have to be willing to 100% commit yourself to that desire. And so if you're confused about the why, or you're not completely on board, like, oh, I want more money because I just want to, feel more free. That's great, but the more clear you become, the more you might be able to really get on board with manifesting it. So I'm just going to review those questions. So what do you want? Why do you want it? And are you willing to commit? Like 100%, like full on, which means you might have to change your life. Things might have to change in your life. You might have to do things differently. You might have to step out of your comfort zone. For instance, a lot of people want to be in a relationship, but they won't go online. They won't put themselves out there. They long for it and they wish for it, but they don't put themselves out there. And I get it, it gets like super scary, right? But that's what I'm talking about. Like, how much do you want it? How committed are you to it? And are you willing to commit yourself up beyond 100%, like 200%? So those are 3 key questions that you need to sit with. And then once you've committed and you say, yeah, I'm committed to that, you can really start to like funnel your energy into that. And if you're confused about like, well, I'm committed, I want it, but I just don't even know, I don't know what to do, I don't know how to move towards that, then ask your friends, ask your family, Google it. How do I meet the love of my life? Like, I'm using that as an example because I know that can be a real big one for people. Or how do I change careers? How do I save money? Whatever it is, Google it, ask your friends, and collect some information. So that's part of being committed to it, is that you reach out and you educate yourself and learn if you're confused. And I want to say one other thing. So if you're sitting here watching this and you're like, well, that's great, Amy, but I don't know what I want. I'm in this kind of space where I don't know what I want. I'm confused. I totally get that space. I've been flowing kind of in and out of that space to some degree myself. So if you are in that space, here's what I suggest. Look around, sit back, look around, and you can ask yourself this question first. And before you say, what do I want? You ask yourself, where am I suffering the most in my life? Where am I struggling the most in my life? Where do I feel most discontent in my life? Because those are the places that are really ripe for transformation. All of us want to feel good. We all want to be happy, right? And so most of what we're seeking in life is that happiness. And yes, it's true. Happiness comes from within. Totally get that. But when things are going smooth in our external world, when we're in that great relationship, we have a job that really resonates with us, whatever it might be, those things help. That helps us feel more content with where we're at in our life. So that's something that you can explore if you're feeling unsure about what you want. You can start to just ask yourself, where am I struggling in my life right now? And then look at that area of your life and kind of examine it. Like, why are you unhappy? And that's an unwinding process, right? But you're capable of it, guarantee it. You could commit yourself 100% to figuring out what you do want. and start doing some self-evaluation. And again, you can Google that too. There's so many processes of like free processes available online to help us nowadays. It's phenomenal, actually. It's pretty amazing, but you have to like do a little work to get there. So more on that. I'll share more on some systems and approaches in the future for you. So I want to share with you one last thing to wrap this up. So if you are going to, again, use the power of today, use the power of nature to help you bring some magic into your own life around your desires, light a candle, burn some incense, take some dedicated time for yourself, maybe do it with a friend, and journal on these 3 questions. What do I want? Why do I want it? And am I ready to 100% commit? And then if you wanted to get really crazy, you could write down some maybe like the first 3 steps you're going to take in the next month to let the universe know, let your deep self know, let that desire know, that seed know, like, hey, I'm ready for you to grow. I'm ready for you to sprout. I'm going to water you. I'm going to water the heck out of you. I'm going to give you some fertilizer. I'm going to give you some love and attention so that you can blossom. And it does take time. So you got to be patient with the process. So you do all that, and then you have like one thing, and you're like, I'm going to manifest this one thing. You can do a little meditation. And I'm just going to, I'm not going to guide you in the meditation in this moment, but I'm going to share with you a mudra that you can use to help you with your desire, your intention. And this is called the Sankalpa Mudra, and I'm actually drawing this from Indu Aurora's book, Mudra, The Sacred Secret. I love this book. Recently purchased it, and it's just like such a wealth of information. And she has mudras, which are like yoga for the hands, basically, for anything from like depression to helping you manifest what you desire. So this is called Sankalpa Mudra, and it's a mudra for sealing in an intention and to help you bring it into your life. That's a very simple description of it. So with this mudra, similar to prayer hands, right? Bringing your hands together, but you're going to touch the tips of your fingers, leaving a little space between your hands, and then your 2 thumbs come together. See if I can show you like that. And the idea is you want to allow a little light to shine through. And there's enough space in there for you to put your little seed, and you hold it, and you can hold it kind of in your heart zone. You could do this right now with me if you wanted to, but just to try it on and kind of get it down. So your thumbs are tucked in between your fingers, and once you have that clarity of what you want and why you want it, and you are 100% committed, you take that seed of intention and you bring it into the space between your palms. You just bring the energy into that space and you meditate upon it. You hold it with great reverence, and you love it up a little bit. You breathe into it. You give it attention. You let it know that you are so very excited for it to come into your life, to bless your life with greater joy and happiness. And you can just breathe, put that intention in there clearly, a focused manner, and then just hold it and breathe and be with it. And you could do that for as long as you'd like, but at least 5 minutes of time, and maybe every day for about 5 minutes, especially like in this year, or I mean, sure, do it for the whole year, but in the next like month or so where there's a lot of energy around manifesting and reflecting and choosing a more conscious path in life. So I love that mudra, and I love that idea of just nurturing your little seeds of intention. I think that's all I have to share with you. I hope this was helpful, and if it was, leave me a comment. I love getting comments. I have to admit, I love getting comments. I love just hearing from people who have received a practice that I shared, or a meditation, or maybe this vlog, and just kind of letting me know, like, hey, I watched it, or I practiced with you and it felt great. Anything like that is wonderful for me, because it inspires me to want to do more. So if you did find this helpful in any way, shape, or form, let me know in the comments. Like the video, share the video with your friends, do a little ritual for yourself, dedicate some time to yourself. It doesn't have to be a big chunk. I know you're busy this time of year, it's crazy. So happy winter solstice. Thanks again for joining me, and I'll see you next time.